Everybody put your signs up. Signs up. Signs up. Signs up. All right, Peyton, it's your show.
We're ready? All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Peyton Abrams. I'm a retired U.S. Army veteran, of which I served 20 years. And I also did 20 years with American Airlines as a cockpit crew scheduler. If there's any pilots out here, do not throw anything at me, okay? I am presently working at DFW as an unaccompanied minor's escort. I make sure that people's children make it safely on and off their aircraft, make their connections, and at their destinations are reunited with their families. I have a great deal of respect for the job that I have been tasked to do here at DFW. We are airport workers. We are wheelchair assistants, baggage handlers, escorts, cart drivers, cabin cleaners, and airplane fuelers. We let travelers keep moving to be connected coast to coast and all over the world out of DFW. But despite the respect that we have for our mission, companies like American Airlines profit off our backs and do not respect us, and fail to respect the job that we do for their passengers. So that's why we're here today.
Yes.
Airport service workers get paid as little as $10 an hour. High end is $15, depending on the position that you're working on. It can be hard work pushing passengers up jet bridges and lifting heavy luggage. Some of these jet bridges are not air conditioned. But we have to face a lot more than heavy lifting in hot conditions.
Yes.
I recall when I was early here at the airport, I first started out as a wheelchair assistant. I was waiting for an incoming flight, sitting on my wheelchair, and a manager came up to me. He never introduced himself, but the suit told me he was somebody. And he stood next to me and he says, "It's not good for management to see their employees lounging." Well, I'm a military man, ex-military man. If you tell me the rules, I will follow them. I didn't know I couldn't sit there. But when we try to express our needs or make suggestions on how to become more efficient, I've had airport workers tell me, some managers are telling them, well, maybe you just need another job. Treating people like we are disposable, a dime a dozen, leads to a really high turnover. We do not have any, and I'm going to repeat that, any benefits. Low pay, no access to affordable health care, no paid time off, no paid sick days, makes us understaffed for a lot of the vital roles here at the airport. I dread to think of a future when the elderly and the disabled cannot get to their gates because we don't have the personnel to take them there. It is clear this system is not working. It is not working for airport workers. It is not working for the flying public. The only ones who seem to be benefiting from this is American Airlines, as they increase their prices and pad their profits.
Yes.
Making airport jobs good, family-sustaining jobs with fair pay and good benefits would only mean a more stable and better trained workforce. This is essential for all of us.
Yeah.
We deserve a safe and efficient travel experience.
Yes.
We need to turn this situation around. And it's clear companies like American Airlines won't do that themselves. So, that's why we're here today, to demand that Congress include the Good Jobs for Good Airports Act standards included in the FAA reorganization bill. So, we are building a strong union with SEIU Texas, in which all airport workers are united and are fighting for a better future for us and for travelers. I've done many meetings shoulder to shoulder with SEIU Texas political director, and I trust her that when she leans in to fight, she will help politicians make the right decision. She is a strong and fierce leader for worker justice. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Risha Thomas, SEIU Texas political director and new vice president-elect. Risha?
Thank you so much, Peyton. Thank you, thank you. It is an honor. It is an honor to stand by you, Peyton, because I know when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you. My name is Risha Thomas, and I am proud and excited to serve as the Executive Vice President-elect for SEIU Texas, who has just organized over 1,900 airport workers in Houston, and we're joining in today supporting those from DFW who are fighting for their union, right? Yes. And we will win, yes. Now, we know that airlines in DFW have failed to pay workers enough to survive. And not only have they fought against it, they've actively lobbied. Now, when I say lobby, what I'm talking about is they've gone to D.C. and they've gone to Austin, and they've spoken to our elected officials and said, hey, we don't want to see some increase in wages. We don't want to see those worker standards, right? They're fighting against fair wages, fair scheduling, and against worker standards. And we will not tolerate that continuing in our state. Am I right? Yes. They fought to pass a bill called the Death Star Bill. This is a preemption bill. And for those who haven't heard of it, this bill, they tried to stop us from organizing and getting folks higher wages. They also stopped something called water breaks. Now, you ask, why would somebody want to stop water breaks? I don't know about y'all, but I've been out here 5 minutes and I'm sweating. Anybody else sweating? Anybody else hot? Well, this preemption bill would limit cities like Dallas, like Fort Worth, like Houston, like Austin, from requiring that if you work outside, if you do work at the tarmac, or if you do work at a construction site, you cannot get a 10-minute water break. Now, this bill was just signed into law about a month ago. And you know what's already happening? People are already fainting on the jobs. People are already losing their lives because they do not have a water break. And we're saying we're standing up against those preemption bills, and we're going to continue to fight for what's right. Are y'all with me? Yeah. All right. I'm glad I'm not alone. Now, I know that we can't just do it just us. We have to have some elected officials in our corner. There are many people who are fighting on our behalf, and they're pushing for things like the Good Jobs for Good Airports legislation. Because we know if we don't have federal standards, oftentimes our state leaders will lead us astray. And we don't want that to happen. So we have folks in D.C. and we have folks in Austin right now fighting for us. They weren't able to make it, but I want to shout out Congressman Colin Allred's staff, who I believe is in the building, and State Representative John Bryan's staff, Norma, who I know for sure is here. They're in Austin right now fighting to keep us from having these terrible legislation being enacted, and they're standing with us. They're fighting for us. And Peyton, me, you, everyone behind here, we're going to continue to fight, and we're going to continue to do what, y'all? Win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. I turn it back to you, Peyton. Thank you.
Well, the next person that I'm going to introduce has a story to tell us today, and I am proud to be standing by her. She is a strong mother, an amazing, dedicated worker, and someone who has served passengers here at this airport for a very long time. I'd like to introduce you to AT Angus. AT, you want to come on up?
Hi, my name is AT Angus, and I've been working at this DFW airport for 20 years. I have worked for Delta Airlines, and now I am servicing American Airlines. I have done cabin cleaning, and now I am working as a PSA, passenger service assistant. I assist passengers, the disabled passengers, and elder passengers get off the plane and get on and get their luggages and stuff like that. I do that like 4 to 5 days a week here at DFW Airport. This company expects us to work every day and without getting sick or tired. If you get sick, you have to call off, and they don't like it, and you don't get paid. The lack of benefits and understanding means many of us are compelled to show up to work when we're sick. For essential workforce that comes into contact with thousands of people every day, this is unacceptable. I can't take a break. I can't take a break to see my family or spend time with my daughter. I only see my mother in the Sudan once in 30 years. I had to quit my job and come back as a rehired. That's just not right. When I came to the United States as a refugee from Sudan 25 years ago, they promised us it was the best country in the world. They said it was the land of the free, and you can live here. You can live a good life here, and it pays well. They sell you this dream that this is the land of opportunity. For airport workers, this dream has become a nightmare. They pay us low wages. There's no health benefits, and there's no time off. 10 months ago, I called off and for 3 days because I was in a hospital, and I fell behind on my rent, and I ended up being homeless. And I ended up living in a shelter in Fort Worth for 10 months. I'm living there now. During the pandemic also, I was forced to take go into financial trouble because I was employed as an essential worker. That only gave me a few hours a week. I couldn't pay my bills. I couldn't pay my child care. I lost my car during the pandemic. And now I take 2 hours on bus and 2 hours to go home on a train. And sometimes I take an Uber home because I end up being here when the train is already shut down. Once I slept in the train station because I couldn't take the Uber home because it takes $30 to take an Uber. All while American Airlines is making record profits and jacking up airfares. They're putting profits over people. They are not taking care of us well. And we can't let it continue. We just can't. We make air travel possible for many disabled and elderly passengers every day. We struggle to survive on poverty wages without benefit. Work, struggle. This nightmare keeps me at night while I'm in the homeless shelter, in my top bunk, staring at the wall. This is why I'm calling on Congress to take action to include us. Do not leave us, airport workers, out of the FAA reauthorization bill. I have served this airline passenger for 20 years here at DFW Airport. I started at $6 an hour, and in 2014 I still made $6 an hour, and in 2021 I made $12 an hour, and they just gave me a few hours. We have struggled long enough, and it's enough. Enough is enough, and it's time to make sure all airport jobs are good jobs. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, A-Tung, and it's sorry to see that your American dream became an American nightmare. Next, I'm excited to introduce labor leaders who represent workers throughout the airport. Pilots, flight attendants, ticket agents, and who am I leaving out here? Oh, the mechanics. Workers that help passengers go from curb to cabin. And we are proud to be joined by them today and their members who have come out here today to support us. We are all united.
Yes.
Captain Fisher.
Thank you, Peyton. All right, can you hear me? All right, guys, on behalf of the 15,000 American Airlines pilots, my board of directors, Chris Torres, our vice president back here, and every one of the pilots that works for American Airlines, know we've got your back. We are in this together. At the end of the day, we all work for the same master, and we know who that is. And you know what the saying is: divided, we're not going to succeed. United, we are going to succeed. When we stand united, we win. We win. All right? The jobs that you guys perform, although they're not glorious, they are absolutely essential to getting our passengers on our airplanes and making the billions and billions of dollars of revenue that this company makes every year. And the fact that they don't want to share it with you, that we have people, like we just heard, who are homeless, they can't afford a car, they can't afford the basic necessities of life in the United States, in my opinion, is inexcusable. That needs to change. And it will change if we stay united, because when we stay united, we win! Absolutely. Okay, well, know that you've got our support. I promised Crystal I wouldn't talk too long, so I'm going to let you guys go. I know the flight attendants are on board with this, and so are the mechanics. I'm going to let them speak next. But guys, you deserve the dignity that comes with showing up to work every day, being a known quantity, keeping the airport safe, keeping the airplanes clean, checking in the passengers, the 1,000 different things that happen to get our passengers from point A to point B, and it cannot happen. Interstate travel cannot happen without your jobs. And that deserves the dignity of basic things like a sick day when you're sick, a benefit that's commensurate with your health. It deserves benefits that allow you to take time off when your family's sick and you've got to stay home. This is just basic middle-class America, and you deserve it more than anybody else. So please continue this fight. Know you've got the 15,000 pilots of American Airlines on your side if you need us. My hat's off to you. Thank you for what you're doing.
Deborah, you're up.
Hello, my name's Deborah Johnson. I'm the president of CWA Local 6001, and I represent airports here at DFW in Texas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Arkansas. I'd first of all like to say to the airport service workers, the SEIU, thank you. Thank you for keeping the airports clean, safe, and thank you for connecting us with our loved ones. I appreciate all the work that you do. However, you are not being given a fair wage. You are not given benefits, and we need to change that. We need to support the FAA authorization bill, and we need to support the Good Jobs for Good Airports bill. CWA's gate and ramp agents at Envoy and Piedmont also need to get paid a fair wage and benefits for the work that they do, which is the same as mainline work, but they're paid much less. Morale with CWA and the SEIU and at all the airports is very low. There's a lot of burnout right now. People are it's becoming unbearable. Imagine having barely enough money to have a place to live, a car to drive, food to eat. You can't take your children to the doctor when they're sick. This is what these low-wage employees, including regional carriers and the SEIU, deals with every day. Most of them have to work multiple jobs just to even make ends meet. So we need to let the SEIU know today that we are here with you. We are behind you. The whole CWA, Communication Workers of America, supports you. In solidarity, when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Parker, and I'm the second vice president of TWU Local 513. That's the Transport Workers Union. We represent a little over 3,000 workers here at DFW Airport. We represent fuelers, baggage handlers, facility mechanics, auto mechanics. In totality, my local represents about 4,500 members at American. And then the Transport Workers Union in totality represents several thousand across the system. American Airlines is the largest passenger airline in the world. They paint their airplanes red, white, and blue, and they put an American flag on every airplane. But there's nothing more un-American than having people work to provide a service for passengers and not provide basic necessities. That's right. That's right. Brother Peyton talked about some of the work that these service workers do. Wheelchair assistants, baggage claim attendants, and everything else. Look, They take care of Americans' MVPs, most valuable passengers. If somebody comes through here with a disability, Peyton and his team take care of them and take very good care of them. If someone puts their child on an airplane for safe passage to another loved one, the unaccompanied minors take care of these children, sometimes through diversions and overnight flights, and stay with them overnight. Yet they're denied basic necessities, no time off, no vacation at all, no sick time, no breaks. It's deplorable. So shame on American Airlines, because they spend more money for lobbyists to fight the necessities that these workers need than they would if they paid for them themselves. So American can fix this today. It's nothing but pure corporate greed, and it stops here. Shame on us if we don't stand with these workers, and shame on Congress if they do not fix this. So I promise you that the Transport Workers Union will put our full weight behind supporting these workers, and we will be here, and we will win. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Larry Salas, National Vice President for APFA, and we represent the 26,000 flight attendants here at American Airlines. On behalf stand with SEIU and DFW Airport employees here and throughout the country, workers who deserve fair compensation, benefits, and ethical work rules. Sadly, we all know at APFA, as we tirelessly push American Airlines to do the right thing by our flight attendants, we too are fed up with major corporations like American Airlines who are failing their employees. They call us team members, but they certainly don't treat us like them. Airport service workers across the country are dealing with high turnover rates and staffing shortages because corporations refuse to provide living wages and benefits. As a result, workers and travelers are dealing with constant travel chaos while ticket prices skyrocket. Rightly so, passengers are frustrated. Throughout the busy travel season, pandemic, more and more airlines are relying on you, the airline workers. While they make record profits, they don't pay you living wages, right? American alone made nearly $49 billion. Yet despite our essential work, airlines have failed to invest in and ensure fair wages and benefits for all of us. APFA is proud to join you in standing up to a system rigged in favor of corporations like American Airlines that are raising prices on travelers, but yet they're failing to support working people. One job should be enough to pay the rent, enough to put food on the table. Support your family. We know airlines created this crisis, and it's time they're held accountable for fixing it. Since airlines won't voluntarily support their workers, the Good Jobs for Good Airports Act must be included in the 2023 FAA reauthorization bill to give every airport worker and wages and benefits that they need to thrive. American slogan is taking care of you on your life's journey. I ask American, take care of your airline employees on their life's journey. Thank you.
Where's Chris? No Chris?
My next?
Yes, Chris.
All right.
That's what I was
Wasn't sure
looking
where I
for.
was. Hey all, my name's Chris Torres. I'm the Vice President of the Allied Pilots Association. Happy to be here. Happy to see that we've got our folks here, as well as a lot of the other work groups that are here. So as you can see, I mean, there's a lot more than SIU here. We've got all the teams that make up what American needs to run this operation. And without one of those teams, the operation doesn't run. Obviously, you don't have the pilots, the planes don't go. Where'd Brian go? You don't have the TWU mechanics. The planes don't get fixed. You don't have CWA. The passengers don't get on the plane. You don't have APFA. The passengers aren't, there's nobody there for them on the plane. And if you don't have SEIU, the passengers don't get where they need to go in the airport. Their bags don't get where they need to go. We don't have the facilities. We don't have the services that we need. American knows that it takes every single one of these work groups to make this operation run. And when they see stuff like this kind of thing scares them. All of us are here. We as pilots and the flight attendants and the mechanics, we all have the privilege of having built on our work rules previously and built on our benefits. So it's time for us to now step back and support the entire work group, all of us, and specifically at SIU, to make sure that all of you have the pay, the work rules, the benefits that you deserve to work here to make this operation run. And with that, Peyton, I think I'm going to hand it back to you.
All right. Well, this really is a historic day to see all of these unions come together to support us airport workers through SEIU Texas. And now I'm proud to introduce someone who is very near and dear to our hearts, who has championed service workers her whole life, has won victory after victory for working families. We stood arm in arm this past March in Washington, D.C., as we introduced the Good Jobs for Good Airports Act. She has continued to be a champion for airport workers since then, and I know she'll be with us until we have achieved our ultimate victory for airport workers. I introduce to you SEIU National President Mary Kay Henry.
Thank you so much, Peyton. United when we stand together, we win. United when we stand together, we win. I am so proud to bring the 2 million members of SEIU here to Dallas-Fort Worth to stand with every American union who is going to have the backs of the service workers, because, Peyton, you're right. We are all going to stand together to make sure you win living wages, decent benefits, and an ability to provide for yourselves and your families. And we agree, enough is enough. Corporate greed has got to go, and Congress has to act. And that's why it's so powerful to be here on this historic day to stand with the pilots from APA, the flight attendants from APFA, the customer services reps from CWA, the Communication Workers of America, and the Transport Workers Union, who represents the mechanics and others that keeps this airline running. We are making history right here in Dallas-Fort Worth, and I hope the 2 senators and the congressional delegation from Texas are listening. Do you think they're listening? They have to listen, because we're going to get Good Jobs, Good Airports into the FAA reauthorization bill this summer, because we are going to stand united until we win. And to close us out, another powerful leader of the service workers movement right here at Dallas-Fort Worth. She is joined by workers in Charlotte and Phoenix who are demonstrating today, and in 14 other airports across the country, united in our demand to hold these profitable airlines accountable and to demand congressional action. I'm so proud to introduce Joy Vaughn, who is a baggage service officer right here in American, and she has a powerful story to close us out with. Joy.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Joy Vaughn. Look at this that we have out here today. Give yourselves a round of applause. Airport workers are united, and we have pilots, flight attendants, mechanics, and American Airlines customer service agents here with us today. This unity we have out here today is so exciting to be a part of. I think it is clear that change is needed, and it's needed now. Right now. I provide baggage services for American Airlines. Look at me in this uniform. I assist American Airlines customers with their baggage every day when they can't find their bags. We brunt the travel chaos in this country. Just this Monday, American Airlines delayed 24 bags, and they finally came in on my shift. But to another belt, those bags came in. I called the tower, the crew chief. Nobody really wanted to help me. And as I was calling around trying to find bags, passengers were getting angry, upset. And at that moment, I started enduring racial slurs, saying this is why black people make it hard to find our bags. American Airlines expects me to endure this abuse for their failures to serve customers that barely pays me for it. It is time they stop forcing us black, brown, immigrant workers to serve as their minimum wage scapegoats and started giving us the respect that we deserve. But you know what? American Airlines makes it hard for me to live. The working conditions are poor. And like many other service workers here at DFW, I do not have affordable health insurance. I have to pay out of pocket. And if I get sick, y'all, I don't get paid if I can't come to work. The holidays are definitely a chaotic time here at the airport. They're already getting ready for the 4th of July now. Last year, I wasn't even able to spend Christmas with my family, my partner, because I was here at the airport taking care of the business travel needs, the busy travel, holiday travel. It was hard to put on a strong, happy face knowing that I was missing that time with my family. But I did it for the passengers because I knew that they needed to get home to their families. My colleagues and I cannot afford to live on a $15 wage. After taxes, that's maybe about $1,800 a month to live on. And we are worth more than that. This is not a mom and pop shop. This is an international corporation. And we are definitely worth more than that. And this is one of the biggest corporations in this world. And it's time for the airlines to pay for good jobs for all airport workers. Even with a bachelor's and master's degree, many may ask, why don't y'all find another job? That's not the point. We enjoy our jobs. We enjoy working here at the airport. But we're all tired. And we want change, and we want it when? This is why we are calling on Congress to include us in the Good Jobs for Good Airport Standards in the FAA reauthorization bill. Do not leave us out. Do not leave us poor. Do not leave us sick and tired. Amen. Don't tell us we don't matter because we do. Yes. So are we going to back down? No. Are we going to stay united? Yes. So stand with me today as we fight for what we deserve. We need the respect that we deserve. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. America, we all deserve better. So let's stick together and put corporate greed in check. It's time for good jobs. Thank you.
We win! We win! All right. Thanks, everybody. That's it? That's it. Thank you.
Good job, Peyton.